We're lucky enough to have 3 works by Anton van Wouw in our upcoming November auction. Anton van Wouw, of course, trained in Europe but arrived in Pretoria in 1890. His early works were on an architectural scale, and only really from about 1906, 1907 did he start producing these smaller scale works. The earliest of these 3, however, is this very famous work called the Bushman Hunter. This was conceived in 1901, 1902. You need to remember that this is the tail end of the Anglo-Boer War. The model was a real man that van Wouw modeled repeatedly. Of course, it shows this hunter with his bow at his waist, the bolt very much loaded, and a work that has gorgeous detail in the face. We always get an amazing sense of the muscles rippling through this figure's body. This work, also enormously famous, called Shangaan. This was conceived in 1907 down the road from our sale room here in Doornfontein, where he had set up a new studio. It shows a Shangaan who would have been essentially on the Rand as a miner, but it is a work that captures incredible dignity in its sitter. Again, you'll notice the wonderful detail, this leather leash around his wrist, the wonderful detail through his knuckles and his nails, as well as the skin folds around the neck. If you were to look at the back here, you'd see that this was cast at the Massa foundry in Rome, which means we can date it. We can date the casting from sometime from the mid-1920s through to the artist's death in 1945. The third work is a work called Koen. This, again, was a real sitter, a little boy called Koen Roer who lived near van Wouw's studio in Doornfontein, and he modeled for this wonderful, sensitive little portrait. We understand only 3 of these were ever cast in bronze from the original plaster. They were all cast here locally in South Africa. They were cast at the Vinyali foundry, but the work itself was modeled in 1926. 3 wonderful works by the superlative sculptor Anton van Wouw.